Hello. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday. And here we are. Here we are. So, how is everybody doing today? It's been quite a week, right? Uh, Loving that it's a weekend and the sun's out. So, I'm happy about that. So, good to see you all. So, I have some things to talk about today, but I thought maybe we could start with something, really happy. And I have been getting lots of pictures, and I even have a little tiny video to show you from a bunch of you, a lot of our friends and viewers here. So, I want to show you, I'm going to do a little quick slideshow here. Um, just be patient with me. All right. Here we go. So we have, I want to try to get this right. This is from our friend Alice Wonderland. And this is, I believe, I'm going to try to get these right. I believe it's Cooper. This is Cooper. And this is Sandy Lou. Aren't they so cute? Cooper and Sandy Lou. Thank you for sending those in, Alice. And then next we have Nina from Stockholm, Sweden, uh, sent me two little kitty pics. She didn't tell me their names, but they're so cute and they're cuddling. And then I think one rolled over and is now stepping on the other's face. Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, I love that. Love that. I wish I could have some kitties. I really do. Okay, so the next one is from Katie. And oh, sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. Sorry. I'll have to fix that. I don't know what happened. Let me go back. My goodness. All right. Okay. I don't know what happened. The window just closed all of a sudden. Try this again. As you can tell, I'm far from a professional here. Okay. Where did we leave off? Okay, we saw the two kitties, right? So I'll go back. Share screen. I'll get it one of these days. Okay. You see that little guy? He's so cute. All right. This is from Katie. This is Norman. She said her big dog, this one is Norman. Look at his legs, just tucked behind or tucked under his front legs. That's so funny. And then this guy is Charlie. I wish I knew the breeds. This one looks like it might be a Lhasa, not a Lhasa Apso, a Shih Tzu, maybe. So cute. And then the next one is Paula sent me one picture of Stella. Look at her. I think she said she was a rescue. Look at the fur on that one. I love fluffy kitties. I love fluffy anything. But okay, the next one is from Mary, and this is her kitty. I think she called it Kato or Cato. Uh, yeah, KAT-O. And this is Kato. And then she sent me an art project that she's working on. Isn't that gorgeous? It's she does journal making, and she said that she sent one to Reese. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. And then I just got this from our friend Bianca. She sent me a little video. There's no sound to it, but she sent me a little video of her little doggy. This is Molly. Isn't she so cute? Okay, so Bianca told me that there is a un bacon covered roast in the oven. So I bet Molly can smell it, and she's waiting patiently or impatiently for it to come out. So so there you have it. Isn't that super cute? I love it. Yeah, keep sending these to me, guys. I just love it. It's coffeecultsandcrafts@gmail.com. You can send them to me, or if you find me on Facebook, you can send me a private messenger. That's fine too. So yeah, so I thought we'd start with something fun like that. So anyways, yeah, keep sending those. Those are great. I thought we needed a little cheer up. And I see people coming in. Great to see you all. We've got Tracy. Hey, Tracy. Good morning. May your day be filled with love and laughter. Same to you, Tracy. Thank you. Susan P. Hey, Susan P. Hello, chat. Hello. Hello, Marilyn. Hello, Susan P. We've got Pippi Longstocking Forever. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to our friend Joel. Lathonda Grockledge, proud fleaboard warrior. All right. Hi. Hey there. Cats, bats, and flowers. Good morning. Jurashibi. Hello, hello. Keela. Hey, darling. How you doing? Good to see you. Tina McBride. Sophia. Oh, everybody's coming in. This is great. Miss Sunrise Dawn. Creepy Bee. Yay. Tina McBride. Joel again. Pet Tales. Yes, I love this. Yes, you came up with that idea to do a whole stream on it once, and we did, and it was so much fun. So much fun. You know, they just give you so much joy. Great smile on that pup. Yeah. So cute. Yes, please. Please rock slam that like button. Please do. Karen, Tootie, Greenie, Mrs. G. Hey, Mrs. G. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Afternoon from the United Kingdom, Yorkshire. All right. And we got, did I already say hi to Miss Sunrise Dawn? Hi, sweetie. Thank you for modding. You are the best mod in the world. Shelly Kelly, hello there. And we've got Bonnie L. Bailey. Hello, hello. Stephanie East, great to see you. Wow, everybody's in here. Armine, nice to see you. I still can't get an ASIN K. Did you see the pictures that you sent in that I put up? Those are great. Tina Talks, hello, hello. D20 Jenny, hi. And we got a Southern Belle, and we got a cuddly floofage. I love cuddly floofage. Afternoon all, a chilly but sunny Scotland. Yes. I'd love to go to Scotland. Sharon Greg, great to see you. Shamba. Oh, you're here. Yay. We are grateful for you all. I second that. I really, really do. So great to see you all. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me on a Saturday. I really appreciate it. Oh, I see a couple more people coming in. Mike Brown, hello, friend. Great to see you. Mike Brown, welcome, welcome. If anyone has been living under a rock and hasn't seen Mike Brown's videos, it's at Mike Brown 101, I believe. Hop over and subscribe to him. And his mom is Rosemary. I can't pronounce her last name, but I just call her Rosemary Brown. Yeah, welcome. We got Lisa Lupin. Hello, hello. Prairie Farm Girl. Hi there. Kate Murphy. Oh my goodness, Batco. Everybody's here this morning. Kimberly. Hi. And we got Carl's. Hi there. And anybody I missed, I tried to get everybody, but hi there. Great to see you all. Okay. So, I have a confession to make, guys. I realized something yesterday that I really was letting a lot of the things going on in this SBTV community with Mike Rinder and the Aftermath Foundation and all of the survivors and everything that's going on. I was kind of letting it really get to me. And I, was kind of getting a little bit like of an attitude. Like, I don't know. It was kind of like, oh, just like I was just getting like, I just don't even want to even deal with it, talk about it, think about it. It's just all, just too much and awful. Right. And then I saw that my good friend Liz Gale did a stream yesterday, and it popped up, and I was like, "Oh, Liz is on." Okay, so that was short lived. That I was going to just walk away, right? because I love me some Liz Gale. And actually, she and Aaron were on at the same time, so I was hopping back and forth. But I went back and watched the entirety of both of their streams. So I was watching Liz, and in Liz fashion, she's just so funny and so cute, and I just love her sense of humor. She had like all these dumpster fires going on, and I was really impressed with her, and I was also like, I kind of took it to heart. I was like, you know, wow, here she is being completely solutions oriented. She's not just, oh, Aftermath Foundation, dumpster fire, let's just discard it, right? She really wants to see it succeed. And so I did some soul searching and I said, you know what? I really want to see it succeed too. Like, why just be like, ugh, write it off, No, because it has done some really great things, and it has potential to do some great things. And not for nothing, there are a lot of resources and funds that you and I and many people across the whole world had given, and even the Aftermath Board Foundation, I'm sure they had given money as well. So, not just that, but time, attention, and support. And you can't just discard it, right? Even though there's some problems, but they're not unable to be fixed. So I want to go through a couple of the things that Liz suggested, which all of her suggestions were awesome, right? On point and amazing. And I wouldn't add anything to it except just coming from where I come from, possibly just add like a little bit to as far as the what some of that would look like, some of her suggestions, like the 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 changing of the guard, or at least the reorganization of the board, and the separations of powers and the delegation of tasks and powers. So oh guys, I see y'all coming in. Can you do me a favor? If you have a question or comment, I don't have anyone in StreamYard today. Thank you to the lovely Kelly Copter for helping me yesterday. But I want to get your questions and comments. So if you can put question or comment in all caps, if you have one, and super chats will be automatically starred, but don't spend money you don't have. But please, but yeah, if you have any questions or comments, I would like to try to get them. Oh, thank you, darling. Oh, the spatula cup. Thank you. Thanks, babe. There's a story behind this spatula cup. Some of you would know if you watch Reese's channel, you would know what the spatula means. I'll explain that later. Remind me. So, yeah. So, questions and comments, let me know. And I want to play a couple clips and from Liz's stream yesterday, and I'll stop, give some commentary. I'm not going to play a lot of it. I would highly suggest, and I should have taken the time to put the link in the description, which I will do right after this. But if you haven't seen it, please go over and check that out. You will love it. Yes, don't drop your spatula. Yeah. All right, I'll tell you now. So I did a stream with, done several with our friend Reese, and she's so hilarious. We have so much fun. And I was telling her how this was a couple months ago, a couple streams ago I did with her. I was telling her how a few weeks prior I was cooking dinner and I was listening to her on my laptop across the kitchen, and I went over and said hi in the chat and then walked away, and I had my spatula and I was flipping something, and I heard her say, "Oh my God, look who's here." And I was like, "Oh, who?" And I was like, my ears perked up and I couldn't wait to hear who was in the chat, And she said, "It's Marilyn." And I got so flustered. And I was just so touched that so I told her, I said, "I dropped my fucking spatula." And I said the word, but probably too early to say it now. But yeah, I dropped my effing spatula. So it's become this joke, like, don't drop your spatula. And I love kitchen gadgets, guys. It's kind of a sickness. And both of my sisters have sold Pampered Chef over the years. So for Christmas, birthdays, they always give me little gadgets. I've got like strawberry corers. I've got, you name it, I have it, right? And I was going on stream with her again, and I took one of my utensil containers, and I found all the spatulas I have, and I put them all in, and I showed her the spatulas, and I was like, "Hey guys, I just want to ask you if you think I might have a problem. Is this normal?" And I showed them, and I counted 14 spatulas, and Reese was like, "No, that's not normal. No, it isn't." And I was just like, "Oh, okay, well, never mind then." And then I dropped all the spatulas. So, yeah, I dropped 14 spatulas. And just for the record, my hubby did drop a spatula yesterday, like legit. And I was like, "You dropped the spatula." And then I had to wash it off, but we still had 13 other spatulas. So it was not really a big deal, right? So, okay. Though that happened. And I showed you the pictures of the fur babies. I got my goldenrod paper. All right. Please stand by for a drink of water real quick. Yes, Deanna, I love me some Pampered Chef too. I agree. I agree. I know it's an MLM that, I like the product. I think both of my sisters are no longer selling it because it is a lot of pressure. And yeah, I don't really like the structure of some of those companies at all. Like we know, like LuLaRoe, that's a really bad one. So, okay, let me get into this. All right, guys. Okay. Okay, I got the timestamps. Can you see that? All right, let me go back a little bit. Sorry, Liz, you're moving on the screen here. I'm trying to get the right one. All right, we'll just start there, I guess. Look at her. She looks so excited. Okay. I'll play a little clip here.
Okay. I want to be clear, though, that what we are seeing, in my opinion, is not actually a collusion and OSA type manipulated strategy to take anybody down. What we have and have had over the last several months are a series of small fires that were not put out and that kept smoldering and now have kind of come together for a bonfire is kind of my perception of what's happening.
All right. And I think that's a really good description of it. So she presented this like, she wanted to be solution oriented and was, assessing some of the issues. And she had slideshows and little graphs and charts and all that and lists and check and what do you call it? Bullet points and all that. So all you guys, me guys, and I'm stealing some of her material. So it's a reaction, a good reaction. So yes, Kimberly, I agree with Liz so much on this. Yes, I did too. So she had in those little bubbles and little connecting lines, she had things like the Mike Rinder issue, the Aaron Smith Levin getting taken off the board, the lawyer letter, the comments from Mike Rinder, keyboard, all that, keyboard warriors, fleas and dogs, everything. Different things like fundraisers, the Miriam issue, the two documentaries in question, the Surge O one and the possible Rosemary Brown. If you aren't aware of any of that, you can watch Liz's stream. And then also Mike Brown spoke to the situation with his mom, Rosemary's, the Aftermath Foundation documentary that was going to be made. He spoke to that. There's, the Surge O document. There's all kinds of stuff. There's the second gems. We call them the second gems. How they are, they're conspiring to to have world domination here. They're taking over. No, they're really not. They're just trying to use their voice. They're just trying to be part of the conversation, which they have absolutely every right to do, right? And so, we have we have all these little fires that turned into a big dumpster fire. And if you don't deal with things, they do tend to do that, right? Even in your own house, it's like you got the laundry piling up, and you got this piling up and that, and then all of a sudden it's like overwhelming, right? So, it is good to keep short accounts and to keep checks on things. And in order to do that, you really have to have a good foundation. You have to have a solid foundation. You have to have some things in place and some routines and some muscle memory of things that work, right? We know a lot of things that don't work. Now we have to find what works. And one good thing to do is to find people that, okay, I'm going to star this. All right. Um, where One thing that's good is to look at other nonprofits and other people that have been there. And I just want to show you something. I'll probably whip it out again later. But about 6 months ago, this is one of the courses I've taken. It's just my binder. It's a community leadership course. It was a 6-month course, and it was just for my county, different community leaders, EDs, which is executive directors of nonprofits, different people on board members, founders like myself, just learning some a bunch different things that can help us with our purpose and what we're doing. So okay, I'm gonna pop this up because Educon had put this up twice. I'll give you one shot, guy. Okay, so you don't have to spam the same thing over and over and over, unless you do a super chat. You want to pay me to say it? I'll say it. Okay, Educon, Maryland. Do you agree with the promotion of a treatment that certain people claim treats PTSD when no peer-reviewed study asserts this? Do you agree with the promotion of treatment? Okay, I think you're talking about the procedure that for PTSD that Miriam requested from the Aftermath board, and there was something about Jamie Mustard. I don't know him. I really can't speak to the specifics, but what I can tell you is that yeah, it is reasonable for a board to decide, and that's their right to decide that they don't want to cover a treatment that maybe insurance won't cover if they don't have enough information, or if they just don't feel like it's something that is within what they, and I am going to talk to that. I'm going to speak with that within the purview of what they do, what they tend to do. And yeah, I think that in that case they can um they can kindly and gently go to the person that is requesting this and say, we're really sorry. We just aren't able to cover that. But, you know, let them know nicely within a reasonable amount of time, within the time that is average for other people that have requested services from the Aftermath Foundation. So communication is key. And I think in Scientology, isn't that the first thing you learn? Oh, sorry. Okay, it came up twice on mine. Sorry, Educon. It did come up twice because I have one starred and one not starred that are exactly the same. So, but yeah, that's my opinion on it. It's okay if people disagree, but I think it's totally within their rights to decline. Hi, Kimberly. First post. Oh, thank you. Thank you for oh, thank you so much for being here. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. Oh, corrected a typo. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. I've seen your name before, so I just don't really want to get distracted by a lot of spam malicious opinions. I call them spam onions. But yeah, once or twice, that's fine. But, I'm just I want to set the tone here. I'm fine with disagreements. I'm fine with challenges. Send me some challenging questions. I will absolutely do my best to take them on. And yeah, I hope you understand what I'm saying about that. So I think I need some coffee. Just a sec. Not enough coffee for this. Okay. Where was I? So I will get more into talking about the course that I took and all that. I just want to pop up another little clip. I want to show, even if I don't play a lot of the actual talking, I want to show you some things that Liz suggested and her little great spreadsheets because they're awesome. And also to kind of speak to that. So, okay, I did ask about your use of Dr. Yanulalich's term moral injury. Okay, I haven't seen that. Concerned about its misuse. Um, I think that was in reference to when you're in a cult and um you are well, I don't know. I don't want to get into that. Okay, I'll take that under advisement. Um, yeah, I'll take that under advisement. I have to go back and see exactly what I said about it, but thank you. I do misspeak sometimes. Maybe I don't have a complete understanding on it. Um, I don't I don't profess to be an expert in anything. I don't have a master's in coercive control. I don't have anything to offer except for my own experiences. So, yeah, maybe I did get that wrong, and I apologize if I did. So I will go back and see if I need to correct that. Thank you. Okay. Now, let's try this for the third time. All right, I'm going to start some more things. Thank you for saying question, comment. Appreciate that. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Sorry for the dead air, guys. Okay, is that working? I always have to go back and forth. Okay, there we go. So let me go to the next one. Okay. Okay, I'll just show this. I'm not sure what she's saying at this moment, but I just want to show you um, the sheet here. So she's offering some solutions, some ideas for the Aftermath Board of Directors. She suggests that Mike Rinder resign, but be retained for future consultation needs under a voluntary basis. You can go back and listen to all of her commentary on it, which is fantastic. She suggests that Mark Headley apologize or step down. She suggests that the board diversify, which I totally agree with. Create advisory board of professionals, social workers, lawyers, psychiatrists, etc. Defer to trained professionals whenever possible / necessary in matters of crisis support, etc. Consult an outside PR firm on all public statements. Strategize for the benefit of the foundation and future victims it's helping. Okay. So, gonna keep that up for a minute. Oh, just starting some more things here. Thank you. Okay. Now, I want to pop one comment up real quick. This one looked really good. We've got Lena in Love comment. Aftermath, a minimum for board members that are ex Scientologists, showing that they've had therapy and trauma treatment. Nowadays, they keep re-traumatizing SPs. Yeah, I think personally that that therapy is important. It may, I don't think it should be a requirement in my opinion. I feel like that's, a personal choice. Just like I feel like people shouldn't be kept from services like Scientology does. I don't think they should be, forced to have it in order to have help or to be on a board. But I do think they do need to have trauma literacy and trauma, in just some understanding of how to deal with and to care for people, in duress. When you have people going to the Aftermath Foundation for help, just like with, I do disaster relief and fires, you have people that are sometimes in shock and they have a lot of trauma. So yeah, to definitely treat them with respect, definitely not calling them names. We've established that, and to be kind and just be aware of their needs and how they might be feeling. So I want to take I wanted to springboard off of this, and then I'll go back to some of the other things that Liz suggested. But I want to talk about, some of the things about the board, the structure of the board. So I want to point out some things, and again, this is my opinion, but I'm not going to play the video that Aaron did yesterday, but you can go back. Please go back and watch that if you haven't already. Sorry, let me mute something. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, I won't go back and play it, but some things that he said and has been saying, quite a few times. And I'll be honest, I have been privy to some information. It's not my information to share, but of some, I would say, misconduct of the board. And I feel like we need to take a look at some things that have transpired and how they really aren't good practices. So, all right, hold on one sec, guys. Getting a little distracted here. Just want to see if I have mods. I do. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, guys. All right. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. So sorry. I just don't want to be just, distracted. That's not even what we're talking about. So anyways, guys, I think this is important. And if people don't agree with me hiding somebody that's just being, completely annoying and off topic. And that Educon, if you're there, send me an email and we can talk about it, because I just don't want to be distracted on the live. So it really doesn't have anything to do with what I'm talking about right now. Okay. So anyways, this isn't easy, guys. Anyone who criticizes creators, like, I'm not going to do that anymore, because it really isn't easy to do these lives and to stay on topic and to speak your truth. It's not easy. It's not easy. So anyways, when you have a board of directors, okay, and you have what's called quorum, which is made up of a certain number of directors that would make a quote quorum, okay? Um, in my case, in our board, it's four. So if you have seven directors, you have a majority. People, there's four people that can conduct a meeting, and it means that they can deliberate and they can vote on things. Say, okay, say a bunch of us go to a ball game, or we meet up even accidentally at, like, like a ball game, a concert, a restaurant, something like that. And the four of us start talking about another board member, wanting to get rid of them. Or we start talking about, some stuff about the nonprofit. That's a quorum, and that is deliberating without a meeting. And that is highly unethical and in some circles illegal. If you did it as, say, you were a city council person, city councilman or woman, or you were on, in my husband's case, he used to be on the board of directors. They were super strict about that. If you were friends with anybody on the board, you could not all get together and talk about anything. You could be, I can't remember the word, if it was sanctioned or something like that. Yeah, Duncan was always very uh, aware of that, right? So a lot of that was going on. It was going on, and the Aftermath board of directors were, as a voting bloc, were conspiring to get rid of Aaron. And I don't know. To me, that sounds like collusion. It sounds like collusion. It sounds like conspiracy. They're conspiring to get rid of him, and they're all like, "And what do you think? And what do you think?" There's three couples. Um, they are like a voting block. So that is one of the reasons. That's twofold. One, they shouldn't all be best friends. That doesn't make any sense, and they shouldn't all be married. Three couples. So what I would suggest is, what I agree with Liz. I think that Mike should step down if he wants the Aftermath Foundation to survive. I'm just gonna start some things. If I see question or comment, I will start it. If I don't, I probably won't. So please put question or comment. So I do agree with that Mike should step down. I also think, and this is customary in many nonprofits that have couples, that the remaining couples, if they remain, they should have one vote per couple. I really believe that. And as Liz suggested, as many of you have suggested, to have people that, more diverse, that represent the population. I'm not even saying to have necessarily any quote never ends, but have people of different ages. Definitely the ex-Scientologists, there is a representation of the LGBTQ IA plus community. Definitely should be at least one from that community as well, in my opinion. This is just all my opinion. Okay. So yeah, board makeup, quorum, deliberating, unofficial meetings. Yeah, I have that. So that's a no-no, guys. That is a no-no. And I agree with Liz in saying that there should be some education. There should be some basic education. Um, I would go as far as to say that there should be some education on things like how to conduct a meeting. There should be some education on how to de-escalate any flare-ups, all these conflict, I should say conflict resolution, right? They're not going to tell you to call the people names. Definitely not, right? Trauma certified representative. Yes, trauma certified. Yes. And like I said, when I took, this is one of the courses, we had conflict resolution, we had how to conduct a meeting, we had being trauma informed, dealing with vulnerable populations. Another thing that is a big focus for our nonprofit, and we have what's called community stakeholders, which is it's made up of many board members, executive directors, volunteers, and founders of nonprofits, also government nonprofits. We've got different community coalitions. We've got people that represent like the Red Cross, different, things like different nonprofits that receive government funds. And they are a wealth of information. There's no reason, absolutely no reason to reinvent the wheel. It's been done. There are so many. There's something like, I think I saw a statistic that said there's like 1 million nonprofits. I mean, that's hard to believe. I mean, I almost couldn't believe my eyes. So I don't know if that's true, but there are a bajillion. There's a lot. I would say there's probably hundreds of thousands of nonprofits in the US alone. So one of the things I have here is, this is called a resource guide. and this is just in our county, and it's pages and pages and pages of different resources, right? And one thing we try not to do, because we try to be a very good steward of the funds that we receive from the public, to not overlap services. So if we're offering something that the guy next door already does, why use the time, energy, and funds on doing it when somebody else knows how to do it? They've been doing it and they can do it. So, what I would suggest with the Aftermath Foundation, of course, this is worldwide, but maybe have a representative or a volunteer in, each country or state, one each state, that knows the state laws and knows some of the resources that maybe, like in Miriam's case, maybe there is some type of charity or foundation or something that would be able to pay for that. And maybe, you can help, like, share information, share resources, instead of, asking the foundation for money for food. I know with, like, Serge Obolinski, he does receive some services, but they can supplement as much as they can. But yeah, there's just different resources out there, so you don't have to overlap, resources. So that was one of the things I was thinking of. um, the other thing, let's see, I was thinking of is the separation of delegating tasks and separation of powers and checks and balances. We've already seen that there really isn't much transparency or stakeholders being able to ask questions, and there really isn't very good PR, and really not any real representatives that can be approached and talked to. So, um, generally, when you have a large nonprofit, there's two branches. You've got the board of directors, which they set policy, they allocate funds, they do like a budget, right? And they set the policy, and then they oversee, make sure that it's being you know carried out, right? So then, a lot of not, especially the bigger nonprofits, have hired employees, and one of them would be an executive director and possibly an administrative assistant, and those would be hired employees. And basically, what they would do is they would take the policies and procedures, anything that the board passes, and I think that too is to take a lot of this perception of favoritism, this perception of having to go, and I'm not even saying that it's not true or it's true. I'm just saying there is a perception that people are being denied or accepted, funds under this criteria that doesn't make any sense, or under, like, it just seems a little funky. So to put it on paper, to put their policies and procedures and criteria on paper, and for a outside party, which would be a hired employee, to carry out the everyday operations. And that would, see, that's the thing too, is when you've got a board of directors that are like, I'm doing all this for free, I'm volunteer. They don't have to, do all that, especially if they've got the funds. Like in my case, I the board and I do everything because we don't have a big, we don't have a huge, budget. We don't even give out money. We just give out gift cards. It's very, very small. And we started to take on other programs, and then we saw that other nonprofits were doing it, and we scaled back because we just don't have the time. So, and a lot of board of directors, they don't have the time for that. They just help mostly with setting policy, meeting every once in a while, and having the budget, and just letting someone else, handle it. So yeah, another thing that it will cut down on is micromanaging, right? Um, Instead of having to go to one person and then having them be having all these quote fires to put out and everything, it would just kind of streamline it. It was the this is what we expect. They pass it to, like, an executive director, and they delegate, and they put into place, like, if they have a social worker that's on an advisory board. Advisory boards are amazing. That's definitely one of the things that Liz suggested. Absolutely, I would absolutely suggest that as well. But I can't drive home enough that if they have things set in place, right, and the executive director is the one that is approached with a application, then they know because they have the policies and procedures of okay, does this person meet the criteria? Let me give you an example. Say the board decided that one of the criteria for accepting someone into the program, giving them funds from the Aftermath Foundation, that they had to be in Scientology. Excuse me, guys. They had to be in Scientology at least 6 months. And say someone came and they met all the other criteria, but they hadn't quite been in Scientology for 6 months. Maybe it's like five and a half, right? So then the executive director would then go to the board and say, hey, this, can you make an exception? Da, 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 da. And then the board could vote. And it really should be on paper. It shouldn't be like, hey, you're eating a hot dog at Fenway Park and be like, what do you think? What do you think? Oh, yeah, let's do it. No, it shouldn't be that way. It should actually be on paper, whether it's a Zoom meeting or something. Call a quick meeting. You don't need all 7, 8 members. You could have just, whatever, four or whatever's a quorum, right? So, yeah, that would definitely cut down, if not eliminate, some of these accusations of possibly having, favoritism, to actually have to start with a good foundation. So I would, those are just some things that I wanted to put out there. Um, uh, just from some of the courses I've taken and my own experience. And like I said, there's so many different just little things that I look up. I look up like Indeed.com, like what's the other one? LinkedIn. They have great articles about how to like deal with life, and I've learned a lot from just looking up articles and I think that okay, I'm just gonna say this. And you know what? And I'm gonna say this. I say I'm gonna say this. I don't really want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. Um, and I'm not trying to get anybody to feel sorry for me. It's just I feel like I don't have the capacity to take in a lot of, grandiose language, volumes and volumes of things. I am kind of more of a doer, and I like to see things on paper, but in short chunks. And I like to have practical knowledge, right? So I'm not saying I'm dumb. I'm not saying I can't read, but sometimes I can't, But yeah. So I think that I've taken in information, and one thing I try to work on, I want to be more intelligent, but I also want to have emotional intelligence, and I think that that is something that has been lacking, as on that board. Not to know the basic, like how to read a room, how to conduct yourself. It's not the Sea Org. It's not. And I'm saying that, in the most respectful way that I possibly can. But you gotta learn you know what is appropriate, and it's just there's been just so much inappropriate behavior. So that's all I wanted to say about that. I really want to get your questions and your comments. Okay, just starting some things, comments. All right. And I was gonna put up some more things from Liz, but please go back and read and watch that and look at her very well thought out and very organized her suggestions. That then there was a section where she even suggested a pledge, which I thought was really good. Um, some other suggestions she made that I thought was great. Um, having a separate like having a nonprofit be separate from your personal YouTube channel, absolutely agree with that. I think that the lines were blurred and people didn't even know if they were like giving to the Aftermath Foundation or if they were giving to the personal person. That statements were made on a private, the private channel. Some declarations were made like let's be all on the front. Everyone's got to be on the front lines fighting Scientology. I don't necessarily agree with that. I feel like right now, I can't be protesting, and I don't, know what else other people are doing. But I am focused on the survivors right now, and some people don't agree with that, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm not trying to be a shit stirrer, but maybe that's what people think I'm doing. But I don't care because I want to help in any way I can, and I want to give you all a voice too. So yes, Keela, my nonprofit uses Robert's Rules of Order. Yep, how to conduct a meeting. Yeah, absolutely. We do too. We don't have to use like some of it because we're so small, but we definitely conduct ourselves, and vote, appropriately. We vote on the meeting minutes. We do, motion, second, and all in favor. Yes, we do that. We don't have public meetings, although if the public wanted to attend the Zoom meeting, they can. But yeah, we just, there was somebody else that asked Keila again, empathy. Yeah, absolutely. Empathy, compassion. I agree. I saw another thing. Mitch, hey, Mitch. Question. Hello there. Just curious, what does your nonprofit do? Sorry if you've already gone over this. No, it's fine. I have, but yeah, I can let you know. So what it is was I started just by making a little Facebook group in January of 2019 to help some fire survivors who had lost everything. And I approached a couple of different organizations, and one of them, it was actually a church had 4 classrooms that they had open, and they actually took down like the walls. There were like these dividing walls, and people started bringing, like, we would put out lists of things like sizes of clothing and different things that the people needed as we went along. It was several months before they got into a house. So we did that for a year, and I got to know some of the volunteers, which I hadn't really known before then. But some of them had been in the nonprofit sector, and I had been a volunteer, for nonprofits for many years. So, anyways, long story short, in February of 2020, which is odd because it was literally right before the pandemonium started, right in May or March of 2020, we submitted our paperwork for a 501c3, and it is just to it was for funds to go on top of the donation, the free donations that we were collecting and sorting and giving out. It was also just for gift cards because we don't give out cash. So that's what we do. We have very, very small budget. We do a postcard every year. We have a accountant that just sends out, a postcard for him. It's usually under usually under 10,000, sometimes under $20,000 worth, because it's a small community thing. But the pretty much the process is the same. And like I said, I do work with a lot of other nonprofits, and one thing I do a lot of is just like talking to people. I've been there, and some people, when they lose everything, they're in shock. And I think it was yesterday or the day before, I'm going to try not to cry because I cry every time I tell this story. There was one fire survivor woman who lost several of her pets, and they were everything to her. And she was very, very distraught. It was the day after the fire. She lost everything, her house, everything. And she works in the medical profession. And I sat on the couch next to her, and she literally just like jumped in my lap. And I held her. And now we're friends. Now we're friends. But yeah, sometimes that's all they need is for you to hold their hand. She didn't even know like what size shoe or anything she took because she was in shock. So I kind of think about that with aftermath survivors, is sometimes they don't even know what they need, and I know for one thing they do need empathy and compassion. So yeah. So that's what I do. It's very simple. When something happens, we have a firefighter that's on our board. We don't spend Thanksgiving cruises, nothing together. We're just professional. We are friends. I would consider them my friends, but we don't. Yeah, we're not thick as thieves, and they're not afraid to tell me what they think, and I'm not afraid to tell them what I think, and I'm blurry. Sorry, guys. There it goes. All right. So I hope that answers your question, Mitch. And welcome, Mitch. We're good, right? All right. Mitch, you're all right. Okay. Um, we got Mario. Hey, Mary. Question: do you consider yourself any religion now? Oh, that's a good question. Love you too. Love you. Um, yeah, that's a good question. I think right now my religion is just being a decent person. Like as far as any higher power, I think there might be something out there. But I always say all I know is that I don't know. So yeah, I find it hard to believe that there's nothing out there. So I guess I don't know. Um, I think I'm sort of spiritual. I mean, I feel things. I I don't think that's just emotion. Although I have a lot of emotion, you guys know that. But yeah, I guess my religion is love and kindness and yeah, just trying to do my best. That's all. That's what I focus on. Now, if you ask my husband, he's really into those near death experiences and he thinks there is another dimension on the other side. So, if you want to know, his channel is at Free as an Eagle. So, he talks about that stuff. Oh, Kimberly in Japan, thank you for the super chat. Just wanted to say I can't admire enough how much passion, love, and honesty you show every time. I learned so much from you. You're gonna make me cry. Stop it. Sorry if I distract your point. I only want to say thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And you're very welcome. I'm just glad to be here and to talk to you all and to share, um, things with you guys. I really love it. And no, you're not distracting me. It was just yeah, just something about the moral injury and everything. I am going to look into that. But I just didn't want to be distracted. And if I see somebody who's just sort of spam malicious with their opinions, and I see them on several chats, I feel like they're not really wanting to hear what you have to say as much as they're just wanting to disrupt and make people feel uncomfortable. And I don't go for that. People can disagree. I do believe in free speech. I do believe that I like challenging questions. I do, but if you made your point, I don't need to be distracted by that, especially since I don't have anyone in StreamYard today. So I know that's not what you were saying, Kimberly, but I just thought for the record, I would say that. So, yeah. We got Joel. Hey, Joel. Comment part 1. This is only my opinion. The current board is a lost cause. They have proven over and over that they cannot and will not change. I have no faith in them at all. And that's a good point. And I think that's the sentiment of many people. And I think that's something that definitely needs to be considered. Yeah, there's been a huge breach of trust. Definitely. Joe McCoy, part 2. They do not know how to say I'm sorry. I feel that they were a small money foundation and the community gave big and then they got a big head. They do not deserve support, my 2 cents. And that's absolutely valid. I get you. I get it. And I'll be honest, I'm not going to donate until I see some changes too. That's just the way it goes. Yeah. Creepy B5. Hey, creepy. I miss what we had as a community before. However, I have to accept the goal is the focus. Yeah, I do miss having more unity. I do. But as Liz said, when you've got small fires and all of a sudden it's like, where did this come from? Well, it kind of came from the small issues that were being shoved under the rug. So, and people not being able to ask questions. So, Olga, hey Olga. Question: under what conditions would you give money to the Aftermath Foundation, knowing Aaron's foundation is coming hopefully soon? That's a good question. That's a really good question. I think that's like a personal decision. I would that's a good question. Okay, just personally with me, I would definitely want to see some changes with the board and operations and how they conduct themselves, how they treat survivors. Blurry again. and I definitely would wanna see some changes there. Also, I think they have quite a bit to work with right now, and that does have to do with Aaron, working hard to get them those funds. He's not the only one that collected funds, raised money, but he had a lot to do with it. He had a lot to do with it. So, and I will absolutely support Aaron's new foundation. So, I don't know, it kind of depends. But that is definitely a consideration. I think a lot of people will be holding back funds and saving them for the new foundation. I totally understand that. So, I don't know if I gave you a non-answer, but, yeah, I'm not completely saying I'll never, donate to the Aftermath Foundation, but I think right now, no, I won't. I won't right now. Okay. Newt to Newt wait, Newt of New and Gus. Hi there. Comment. I love that Marilyn is the godmother of all the SP. That's funny. Also, my mom always says there's a story behind that when she gave us anything. Yeah. There is always a story behind it, isn't there? That's great. Okay. Shambot. Oh, hey, Shambot. LGBTQ and trauma certified representation should be bare minimum. I agree. I absolutely agree. And especially with the attitude that Scientology had against, the LGBTQ community. It's just shameful and wrong. Absolutely. So I think it would definitely be in order to have a representative on the board from that community. Mhm. Cuddly Floofage, I love this name. Comment: Rosemary was deeply affected by Mike Rinder being around. Agreed. There should be ongoing training to show commitment to CPD every month. Produce a PFD booklet that applicants can read or print out. I think that's a great idea. I love that idea. Maybe send that in. I love the brainstorming that was going on yesterday with Liz too. That was great. Declan, comment. When I worked for a fan convention, we either had to sign a social media policy or keep our social media as personal, i.e., no mention of being on staff. Seems that would be good separation. Yeah, it's definitely a consideration. Yeah, absolutely. So I had something started and I went through those. So I'm going to go back and see if there's any more. And something I wanted to mention too, and I meant to bring it up, maybe we can talk about it another day, was that liability form. At first glance, it really didn't look like anything that, alarming. There is something about being like cooperative, and I didn't use the word submissive, but it was just like it was in the fine print and it was just a little icky. And I just think the timing of it, if people hadn't been asked to sign those liability forms, the waivers, um, and like I said, the fine print, it almost felt like an NDA, like you can't criticize or, yeah, I don't think that's right. And again, people who are going to the aftermath for help are usually in crisis. They are in crisis and they need help and they've been traumatized and they don't need forms shoved in their face. I mean, doesn't the Aftermath Foundation have liability and director's insurance? I mean, it's not that expensive. I can tell you that right now. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But it does make sense for them to have it. But just all of a sudden to whip it out right now, that doesn't make sense to me. As far as I know, it's a fairly new thing, but I'm not absolutely sure. So, Stephanie's, unfortunately, what we had that was so wonderful in the beginning was just a facade. There was stuff going on behind the scenes of turmoil. Right. What was it, 6 months between May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 6 months that nobody knew that there had been a big rift in the board and that there would have been a falling out between Aaron and the rest of the board. And I mean, it did look a little bit tense, but no one knew, the extent of it. And also, I'll say this. There's a story behind that. That it seemed in the beginning when SBTV community kind of came together, there was a certain lockstep of like, this is what's acceptable, this is what isn't, this is what you say, this is kind of how it's going to go. And that when you got a YouTube channel on the internet, that's not that's not the case. It's not the case. So I do consider myself part of SBTV. I do consider myself part of this community. And I have a lot of friends, but if push comes to shove and I have to sign something saying I won't speak my mind or whatever, then no, that's where I draw the line. And yeah, I just I just have my own channel. Everybody has their own channel. If they want to associate with each other and be friends, great. If they don't, that's everyone's prerogative. You know, I don't tell anyone how to conduct their channel, and nobody tells me how to conduct mine. So, okay. Carl's. I feel so hurt for people wanting help that are being asked to sign NDAs. For example, Liz Gale. Under these circumstances, her son isn't going to get his money unless she agrees to not to talk to anyone. So if that's the case, and they already accepted her, I don't know how that works, but it's really, really super bad for them, which you know, that's their prerogative. But uh, what do you think, guys? I think we can raise the money. I would give to it. I think we can raise the money. So I don't think she has to worry. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking for, please sign another life. I know forever and ever and ever. Like, what yeah, the wording was, whoa. Yeah. Stephanie East. This is a good question. Question: do you think Mike Rinder's cancer treatments have changed his personality, and that's what we are seeing? And if so, should he step down? I think he should step down regardless, because of things that have happened. I think that people are responsible for their actions. I don't know. I haven't known him. I don't know him at all, really. A little bit what I see on screen, and from 2017, according to some people like Nora, he has exhibited those behaviors in the past, even after Scientology. So I don't know. Um, as far as I've heard, uh, people have been speculating that he has chemo brain or whatever. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not any of that. And I've heard that he didn't have chemo. So I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, but I do think he should step down. Yeah. I hope that answers your question. Carl's, I would rather us raise the money and tell them their help isn't needed. Yeah, and that's really sad. It's really sad because a lot of people did give. It's not their money. You know, it's the community's money. So it just makes me feel a little sick, honestly. That's sad. I hope they won't do that. Kimberly, I love when Aaron gets the credit he deserves. Yes, I agree. He isn't perfect. No, never claimed to be. Seriously, who is? Nobody that I know of, except Jesus. I guess he was perfect. Just saying. That's what I was always taught. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you for all the links that you're putting down. Kelly Copters. Yeah, Miss Sunrise Dawn is putting links, dropping those links. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Half, hey, hey girl. Just woke up. I always start when it's over. Hi, sweetie. So good to see you. Yeah. And we got, yep, Mitch's channel. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hop over to Mitch's and subscribe. Yes, empathy and compassion go a long way. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Just going through, just making sure I didn't miss. Okay, here we go. New gosh, I always have a hard time reading that comment. I work with a lady who has zero social intelligence, can't read the room, doesn't talk about anything but herself and what she's interested in, doesn't check in on other coworkers. Yeah. It's definitely something that some people maybe naturally have, and other people have to work on it, but I think everybody needs to have a certain, yeah, certain amount of that, especially if you're working with trauma survivors, you know? Mm. Paris Cashin, I feel like many of us are curious about the treatment Jamie Mustard has shared with us. I would be happy to pay towards any of you that want to try it and report back to us how it feels. Right. So, one second. I just want to get a sip of water. Please stand by. Yeah, like, Educon said, I didn't disagree with that, if something hasn't been, peer tested, or, under, controlled circumstances, yeah, if you, it's, anecdotal just to have your friends try it, but, I know that Mike Brown said something about the military beginning to look into it or using it, and that it has worked, so, yeah, it's definitely something that is, worth considering. Yeah, definitely worth looking into, I would think. Anything that helps, you know? Paris Cashin, I personally like that we can donate to each individual creator that has a channel so they can spend in a way that helps them. I want to help those without channels too. Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. It's awesome. Yeah, we all appreciate all of you, and anything that you want to give is not, you know, There's there's no requirement, it's like whatever anybody wants to do, that's their choice, and nobody can tell anyone, um, you know, what they should be doing with their time, their attention, their support, or their money, and, if you call people names, probably not gonna get much support, right? Yeah, the Sophia, I don't see how an NDA should even be valid if abuse is involved in the subject matter. Yeah. I think it's just, "Oh, you're not allowed to disparage the foundation." It didn't say those words that I saw, but it was definitely could be interpreted as that, I think. And again, it's, strange timing and does seem kind of intimidating. So, bleh, I don't know about that. So, I'm very interested in that as well. I've always said I need a nervous system reboot. My vagus nerve is shredded. Yeah. I mean, that would be good if it really works, right? Absolutely. Standbot. Most people need their parents to teach empathy, and not all parents do that or have it themselves. Some people are just selfish and have no desire or interest to find out how other people feel. Yeah. And in, cults, especially, well, not especially, but including Scientology, um, maybe in some ways, especially because they actually train you not to use your emotions. That whole TR thing and tone 40 and all that. They kind of train you to be cold. So yeah, that's kind of awful. Xenu freaking Marlene. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, and I wanted to mention, guys, I don't know if you saw the what last night, the stream that I did with Diane Eddix, Marisa. If you haven't seen that, that was so much fun. I'm so glad we ended up going for like over 2 hours, like 2 hours and 20 minutes, something like that. And she told her story, a lot of pieces of her story, but a lot more of her story than I've heard. I was so glad to hear her story. There were a lot of questions and comments about her views on everything that's going on right now, the dumpster fires. And if you watched her channel, Marisa's channel, Dianetics, she definitely tells it like it is, and I love it. It's refreshing. And honestly, guys, I think that there have been quite a few, particularly the younger, generations, some of the second gens, a lot of them are second gens that are the older, Sea Org people. But I think everyone deserves a platform. Everyone's story is valid. And I don't like to see anybody left behind, right? What's the Ohana or something? Like no one left behind? No. I'll Yeah, if, anybody feels like they haven't gotten a fair shake and they haven't been able to tell their story, send them to me. Send them to me. I think it's good for everyone to have a chance. So, with that, without further ado, reminded me of this because we did a Xena Marlene and Marisa was a good long-standing friend of Doug. So, yeah, so everybody partake. If you got coffee, your morning donut, your water, whatever, I've got my I dropped my fucking spatula mug available at the merch store. Mm. I made it a little bit dim because I didn't wanna get in trouble. But I did put a little asterisk for the U. So cheers, everybody. Oh, I know whenever I do this, I think about Doug, you know, keeping, his memory alive. Wait, did I spy with my little eye there she is! Hey, Liz Ferris. I was talking about you. Good to see you, honey. Yeah. Okay, Paris Cashin. There are so many scholarships that don't get used that are federally funded, like Pell Grants. You don't have to pay back just to help young adults succeed. Available to anyone. Yeah, absolutely. That was one of the things that I was, um, goes along with what I didn't, think of that specifically. But yeah, there are a lot of things out there so that you can help more people by referring them to services and resources. That's why, like, I have this just for my own county, and there's, like I said, there's 41 pages of all, we're in here, just everything, Red Cross, um, Safe Harbor, different hospitals, medical centers, schools, hotlines for unaliving hotlines, parent stress hotlines, poison control, abuse in hospitals. Uh, yeah, just all kinds of stuff. All of the emergency services. So I'm sure a lot of counties have this, but again, we're talking about something that's worldwide. But maybe as part of the volunteer program, there could be a liaison that knows the services in that country or in that state, to kind of help people to be able to help more people, right, and not overlap services. So to Doug, right? To Doug. That's great. Oh, there he is. Hey, Dylan. Great to see you, Dylan. Welcome, welcome. I think we're winding down. Are we winding down, guys? Anybody have any more questions? Oh my goodness, Liz Ferris is so close to 4,000 subs. Awesome. Yeah, hop over to at Pokemon and Cults if you haven't. Oh, you're welcome, Mitch. You're welcome. You're welcome. Good to see everybody here. Um, okay, Georgie. I watched Jamie's interview on the PTSD treatment and it looks promising. There are a few treatment centers in the US. Yeah, yeah, you know, I really can't speak to it because I'm not a doctor and I don't know anything about that. I don't know Jamie. There's people there. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. There's people that think it's great, and then there's people that are, nervous about it and think that maybe it's not good. It's all good. I like I said, there may be a foundation that would pay for it, and maybe the new foundation would pay for it, when Aaron's gets up and running. But the Aftermath Foundation has a right to decline. I think that they should be forthcoming with an answer, though, and just not freezing people out. It just looks and feels like disconnection, I think, but it's blah. I don't like that. So, comment. Joel, comment. As an old man, you're not an old man. I have learned that no matter how hard it might be, we must open our minds to change. Young folks have a lot to say. Listen and learn. We are all just folks. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was raised in the kind of seen but not heard because I said so. And I was, conditioned in the cult to kind of raise my kids that way. And I just knew it was wrong. And, I've talked about that awful book many times that It was just terrible. That's Duggars use. But then I realized that my kids are people too, and I've learned so much from them. I've learned a lot about the internet for one thing. And yeah, I realized that not to treat them like adults in little bodies or anything, but they are people and they have their own you know, their own mind, and they're special, and they have something to offer. And now that they're in their 20s, yeah, I rely on them all the time. Like a couple weeks ago, I think I shared, a small group of you that I had what turned out to be um I thought I was having like an asthma attack or something, but it turned out to be like, I think, pretty sure, a panic attack. And my youngest son, who's had them and has had a lot of therapy, he's like, "Mom, I think you're having a panic attack." And I was like, "Really?" And so my daughter, who works the medical profession, she has COVID tests left and right. So she took one, didn't have that. And, he was giving me, like, grounding techniques, and they really worked. So, I've been using my grounding techniques. And, yeah, so you can learn things from the younger generation. And a lot of times, I would rather be like, say, you go to the doctor. I think the younger generation tends to know more. So, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is I think they're up on the latest treatments, and they do a lot of studying. Oh, what did I miss? Anybody say, "Oh, did you draw your thumbnail pic?" Oh, I haven't really looked at that. Okay, we got reality check. Jules, hey Jules. I'm reading Jamie's book at the moment. So interested in the procedure as someone who's been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, complex trauma, and complex CPTSD. CPTSD. Okay, I can say it that way. It's just hard to say it all together. I've even asked my medical health nurse to research it. Yeah, yeah. I think that's good. I mean, it's good to research and see what else is out there. Because there's new developments all the time that can help people. So, oh, a good friend of yours drew that. That's awesome. All right, guys. If there's no other questions or comments, I'm just scrolling up to see if anyone said question or comment. Don't burn my biscuits. That's right. Don't burn my biscuits. All right, everyone. Not sure if I'll be on again today. Probably, I'm not planning on it yet, but I have a couple people that I've been talking about interviewing, and yeah, I'm excited. I feel like there's a lot of good happening, and with the protests and with just so many things that people are coming out and talking about. And we got to talk about the messy stuff too, but I do like to focus on the good. And if anyone wants to send me any more of their pictures of their puppies or kitties, anything that you know like, I don't know if you got a pet spider, anything. I do have some to show you for my daughter. She has I don't know if it's a gecko. She has a gecko, guinea pigs, Pomeranians, and chickens. So I asked her for 2 pictures and she sent me a whole bunch. So I'll probably put those up next time. Bojo, yes. Okay. Yeah, let me know. We'll find a time to chat. I definitely want to chat with you, Dylan. All right. All right, everybody. Have a great day. You can email me at coffeecultsandcrafts@gmail.com if you have any puppy pictures or kitty pictures or whatever. If you have any questions or comments, and please leave them in the comments section below. And have a great day. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.